So let's talk about something that's a total game changer for AI productivity. We're going to dive into a really simple idea that completely flips the script on how you collaborate with AI, giving your projects a permanent brain.
You know the feeling, right? You're working with an AI, it's brilliant, it's a genius. And then, just a few messages later, it's like you're talking to a complete stranger. It totally forgets what you were doing. All that context you spend time building up, poof, gone.
And this leads to all those classic frustrations. It forgets that one critical instruction you gave it, the coding style suddenly goes haywire, and you end up wasting so much time and, let's be honest, money just re-explaining the same thing over and over again. You get these unpredictable results, all because of this incredible paradox. Amazing power, but zero memory.
But what if you could fix that? What if, for every single one of your projects, you could plug in a permanent memory, a core set of rules and context that the AI could never forget? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
So say hello to the Claude.md file. Now, on the surface, it's just a simple text file. That's it. But its job is massive. You really got to think of it as the project's brain. It's the persistent memory, the steering wheel that guides every single thing the AI does in your workspace.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Power user Nick Soreo puts it perfectly. It's basically my second brain at this point. That's how essential this becomes. It's not just a tool, it's a fundamental shift in how you work. Okay, a project brain sounds awesome, I get it, but how does it actually work? You know, under the hood. How can one little text file have such a huge impact on what the AI does?
Well, here's the magic trick. There's a hidden step that happens every single time you talk to the AI. Before your message even gets sent, the system secretly takes everything inside your Claude.md file and sticks it right at the very top of the conversation. So the AI reads your rules first, every single time. It's the unbreakable foundation for the entire chat.
The source material has this brilliant analogy for why this is so important. Imagine you're the captain of a ship setting sail. If your course is off by just one tiny degree at the very start, it doesn't seem like a big deal, right?
But stretch that out over thousands of miles, and that tiny error means you miss your destination by a massive distance. That's what the Claude.md file is. It's setting that initial course perfectly, making sure that even on really long, complex projects, the AI doesn't drift off into the middle of nowhere.
So what's the actual payoff? What do you get for setting up this project brain? Well, it really just comes down to three huge things. Your AI gets smarter, your work gets done faster, and the whole process gets a whole lot cheaper. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay, so by summarizing your project's main goals and rules in this one file, you save a ton of money. Seriously, the AI doesn't have to reread every single file in your codebase to get context. That means your token usage, what you actually pay for, plummets. And because it always has that perfect context, the quality of what it produces goes way up, which means you spend almost no time doing rework.
This all leads to a really powerful new way of working. Task, do, verify. You use the Claude.md file to define the task and the standards of quality. The AI goes and does the work. But here's the kicker. It can then verify its own work against the rules you set. That self-correcting feedback loop, that's where the real magic is.
But look, to get all these benefits, you can't just throw a bunch of random text in there. You have to build this brain the right way. So let's go over some best practices that'll really make this thing sing.
All right, here are the big ones. First, do start a new project with the emit init command to get a great starting point. Use sharp, concise bullet points. Put your most important rules right at the top. On the other hand, don't just dump your entire API documentation in there. That's just a waste of tokens. And most importantly, if the AI makes a mistake twice, add a rule to make sure it never happens a third time. Treat this file like a living piece of code. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, it gets even cooler. This isn't just about one file for one project. You can actually build these brains in layers, like a hierarchy of instructions for the AI.
Just think about this for a second. You can have an enterprise-level file that sets rules for your entire company. Then you can have a global file that has your own personal coding preferences. And finally, you have the project-level file for the specific thing you're working on right now. They all merge together to give the AI this super rich, layered set of instructions. It's incredibly powerful.
So let's bring it all home. What's the big idea here? Mastering this new way of AI isn't really about getting better at writing clever, one-off prompts. It's a huge mental shift. It's about becoming an architect, about building an intelligent system that gives the AI the memory and the guardrails it needs to be a real partner. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. Once you've built this amazing brain for your AI, what does that make you? Are you its manager? Its teacher? Its architect? It completely changes the game and forces us to rethink what this human-AI partnership is really all about. Something to chew on, right?